Yo, what's up Food Fanatics, and welcome to another video here in sunny, beautiful Istanbul. Now in today's video, we're gonna hop around a few different bakeries and we're gonna get a lot of doughy goodies, and I'm gonna show you what a typical Turkish bakery has to offer. Because when you guys are in this city, you're gonna see plenty of them, and when you do, you should pop in and grab something to snack on. So let's go. Okay, so we are just outside the bakery and you can already start to smell a lot of the goodness, a lot of the goodies, a lot of the baked delicacies, let's call them that. Let me show you what they've got over here. Okay, now I'm walking back uphill. We've got the bag of goodies. It's actually quite heavy. I got like 4 items, I want to say. And I'm trying to not to fall. As you can see, it's on a steep slope. So I'm just gonna go and I want to find a place to just get settled. That way I can kind of eat on camera. I want to try to not do it at home like my most recent video. So I'll catch up with you guys in a bit when I find a good enough spot, okay? So I know that I said I'm not gonna eat at home, but the thing is I couldn't find a spot that was quite quiet in order to film the video. There was too much background noise, so I figured let's shoot it here. After walking around for like 20 minutes, I got sick of it and I was like, let's bounce home, and because I wanted to start eating. So we've got the bag of goodies. It's quite heavy. Let's pick up something and let's see what's the first thing is gonna be. Whoa, this thing is heavy. Whoa, 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 check this out. Okay, now this thing is called a tahini, and basically what it is that it is this baked monster of a bread, I want to say, and what they do is that they cover it with some sesame paste, some sesames, and then they sprinkle some sugar on it. It weighs quite heavy. It's very crispy. The dough is quite crispy along the edges, if you can kind of take a look here. Look at that. So let's dig into the first bite, and what I want to do with the first bite, I actually want to go in the middle because I feel like that's where all the flavor is. So we're gonna like pop it out. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, it seems so moist, and then it's got a bit of a beige color here that you can kind of see on in the middle of it. It seems moist and it seems like not oily, but there's something that the dough has absorbed that gives it a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna take my first bite, and it's just gonna be in the center because knowing cinnamon rolls, that's usually where all the flavor is. So I think this is the same. Let's go. Very yummy. It tastes very different than anything else I've had. If you've ever had tahini before, which is sesame paste, that's quite, popular, I'd say, in the Arabic world, this basically tastes like a sweet bread that's made out of it, and you can kind of see a lot of that flavor in the middle. That's where the dough is the softest and the most moist. There's a lot of like sesame on top that just gives it that crunchy texture, and then the dough is pretty much, I almost want to say like baked but toasted off the top. But the middle, they've managed to keep it very moist, so it gives it that crunchy taste. But then the middle of it, because it's moist, after you chew a few times, that's when the flavor really comes out from this. I'm gonna take my second bite here. This is delicious. Whoa. Very doughy, very soft, very chewy. Very subtle taste of the tahini, but it's not sour or bitter. It's quite sweet because I think they've mixed it or topped it off with some sugar on the surface of this. The sesame, you don't taste it much, but you are chewing it. I think it's just more so for aesthetics more than anything for presentation. But the dough is so well done. If you take a look here from the bottom of it, it's like this golden brown, but it's not overcooked, but it's also not undercooked. It's just different layers. The top is very crunchy, the bottom is perfectly cooked, and then the middle is just moist and ready to chew, and that's where it holds all the flavor. So freaking yummy. I love it. Now look how this looks, because we dug into the middle. I'm gonna put it aside because I've got a lot of other goodies I want to dig into. So let's get another bag. Let's see what's in this. Oh wow. Whoa, this thing is heavy. Check this out. Whoa. First impression of this. It's quite soft from the bottom, and the top you can kind of like push your fingers in. It's got this like stuffed thing inside of it, but I can't make out what it is without tasting it. And then we've got some crushed peanuts on the top. Looks super yummy. And then it seems like the top, they've painted it with a layer of, I don't know, some kind of maybe like, you know, sugary syrup. It has that like golden look to it, I want to say. I don't know if it's just maybe perhaps butter, but it looks so freaking yummy. I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna open it up and let's look inside and see what's in it. It is very well stuffed with some kind of, I almost want to say it's like a spread or a butter, some kind of a nut, but it's not peanut butter. Just look at this. It's like a totally different, you know, look or texture to it than your regular peanut butter. So I'm gonna take my first bite. Let's see how this goes. Wow, it's so yummy. It absolutely fills your mouth. This stuffing is so chewy when it's in your mouth. It becomes almost like a gum. And what it is, I think it's a mixture of like butters with some grounded or some kind of a paste from maybe walnuts, I want to say. Definitely not peanuts. I think it's more so maybe like walnuts or almond butter, but it's a mixture of those. And they've obviously added sugar to it because it is sweet. It has, you know, that slight sweetness to it. But it's not overwhelming, and it's so yummy that you just want to take more bites. And it really does taste like a natural, I almost want to say nutty flavor to it, but not your typical, you know, processed peanut butter or almond butter, but it's a mixture of different nuts that they've turned into kind of like this stuffing. I almost want to say, let's go in for that second bite. Let's see if we taste something else. Super yummy. I absolutely love how thick that layer of that like peanut or that nut spread is, and it's not too sweet, and I love the color of it. It's so like natural. The dough layer is very soft. So it mixes easily. It doesn't make all the chewing. Doesn't require a lot of chewing. But this, because that layer is so thick, you get so much flavor with every bite. It's absolutely freaking delicious. I don't even know what else I want to say. It's so good. And then you have a bit of the crushed peanuts at the top for that texture, and it really does complement the rest of these different kinds of nuts, because I think it is a mixture of like possibly some almonds, some cashews, possibly some walnuts. It's that kind of a spread, and it's sweet, and it's so good. But I'm gonna put this down because we've got a couple more items. So let me dig into the next one. Let's see what it is. Oh wow. It is this like powdered sugared cookie thing. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's filled with anything. It's a bit heavy. It feels or looks like it's just gonna be empty. It just seems like a powdered sugared cookie, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break it in half. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely empty. There's nothing inside. And it seems very crumbly. Let me take that first bite. Let's see what it tastes like. Quite bland. It tastes good. It's just like, it's a bland, crunchy kind of cookie. Clearly it's made with a lot of butter. You taste a lot of butter in it. It's very crumbly, and then it's sweet because look how much powdered sugar there is on the top. I'm gonna go in for another bite here. Let me see if there's anything else. It's dry. It's sweet. It's definitely yummy. It's not bad, but it's not filled with anything or stuffed with anything. I think this would go really well with like a coffee or a tea. Just create that contrast, from those other flavors. That is something that I think would go really well with these other mixtures, because it's also very light. You're just chewing it. There's no caramel or chocolate or any like walnut spread or any tahini on it like the other things we've tasted. It's pretty straightforward and average. I would say definitely not my favorite so far that I've tried yet today. Now let me dig into the final item. This one is gonna be special. Oh, look at this. It's this like super chocolatey lava croissant. Whoa, it's heavy. It's absolutely covered with chocolate from end to end. It definitely feels like there's chocolate inside of it, because even here when you look, you can kind of see the color coming through the dough. Golden brown at the bottom. Very soft, very heavy. Let's break it up in half. Let's see how it looks like on the inside. Oh, I love when I do this. Wow. Oh my God, it's got this chocolate on the inside. Ooh, look how hollow it is. It's got this chocolate on the inside. It doesn't feel like it's regular chocolate, so I'm curious how that's gonna taste. And it seems like they filled the inside of it quite a bit. So let's take the first bite. Let's see what it's like. Whoa. It's so yummy, so chocolatey. The dough is so soft and very tender. I absolutely love dough like this. It's very like, I love doughy, soft dough. Now, the chocolate, that's what makes this croissant amazing. It's not your typical like Nutella chocolate. It's not that generic stuff. I like that about Turkey quite a bit, that they don't really go crazy about Nutella like in European countries where they're slapping Nutella on every dessert. This is some dark chocolate. It has just a tad bit of bitterness to it, but it's still sweet. It's so yummy. It's not your typical chocolate. It feels like a very chocolate heavy kind of croissant. Very good. They didn't skimp out on it. There's a layer at the top and it's stuffed in the insides as well. And it gives it a lot of that, chocolatey taste. It's a strong chocolate taste, but it doesn't taste sweet because it's not your, typical Nutella or whatever. So yummy. Such a different croissant than when you usually get at a bakery. When you usually do a chocolate croissant, it's not like this. It always feels very flaky, and then it ends up being very sweet because they use Nutella. This isn't like that. This is very doughy and has a bit of that sweet and bitter taste to it. I'm gonna go in for another bite. Second bite, even better. It had a lot of like melted chocolate that you guys can see here, which gave it that extra bitterness to it. And the more you go into the middle of the croissant, the yummier it is because the dough is more moist and soft over there. So that's where like a lot of the combination of the dark chocolate with the dough really kicks in. It hits your taste buds. I'd say out of everything I've had so far, this has the strongest taste just because of that, you know, dark chocolate. It's so yummy. If you see a croissant like this that looks like a, you know, molten lava croissant in Istanbul, definitely go ahead and try it, guys. You absolutely will not regret it. It's a very different taste than your typical croissants, and that's what you want. You want to try different things in different countries. I do have to say this is kind of better than the usual stuff I've tasted in Europe before. It's not your average generic croissant. This is some, you know, different stuff. So 10 out of 10 for creativity. I've got all these items I still want to dig through, so I'm gonna eat them now and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of what I can without, you know, going into a coma, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Yo, okay, so it's been like an hour only. I'm still hungry again. And the thing is, because it's only dough, it's not the most filling, it's not meat, so we're gonna hop over to the bakery and then I want to grab a bit more food. It's gonna be yummy, and it's only a minute away from my house, which is kind of what I love about Istanbul, how connected it is. Everything is within walking distance. So let's check out what they have. Okay, so to be honest, the bakery was weak. They had like 3 items I'm interested in, and I'm hopping around the place to other bakeries to see what else I can find. Already got a few goodies, but it doesn't suffice. I need more, I need a lot more. So, catching up with you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so been to a few bakeries, I think 3 because I'm a total fat ass, and I got a few goodies. Now I'm rushing back home and I will start devouring these just for you guys, you know what I mean? That's it, I just do this for you guys. I'll see you in a bit. Hello there again. It is around 6 o'clock in the evening. I've gotten changed. The apartment's quite hot because I have the heat on because it's winter. We've got the bags of goodies. You guys can see them. So let's continue. I'm quite hungry and we're gonna open up the first thing that I got at the bakery. Ooh, look what we've got here. It is this like fluffy doughy thing that's kind of very well toasted at the top. I'm ready to dig in. Let's open it up in the middle. Oh, it's got something here in the middle. I think it's cheese. I'm ready to dig in. I like that in this video I'm not talking as much as usual prior to the food and I just dig in right away. Leave a comment down below if you like that or not. It's good. Doughy. A lot of dough. You can see very thick layer of it. Too much dough. There's a bit of cheese in there, and the cheese is mixed with what looks like some kind of herb. I almost want to say it's parsley, most likely. Gives it that flavor, but it's not too full of cheese, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd want this with cheese. A little bit crispy off the top because it's yummy. I'm gonna go in for another bite. Let's see if my opinion changes. To be honest, second bite was not much better than the first one. It's very doughy, and the ratio of dough to cheese is a little bit too overwhelming. You end up chewing a lot, but you don't taste much of the cheese. When you do taste the cheese, the only reason you're tasting it is because I think they mixed it in with some parsley or some kind of herb. So you get that like veggie taste in there. I wouldn't get it again if I'm quite honest. Interesting, nice to try. Not crazy. Maybe it's because it's towards the end of the day that I'm eating this. Maybe I need this like just right off the oven. But yeah, it was meh, so. Let's dig into the next thing. Let's see what we've got. Ooh. Here's what we've got. This like monster brick looking cookie is very yummy. It looks like a chocolate is in there. Yeah, it seems like it's chocolate chips, but it's like quite hard and it's heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and just like crack it open. Let's see how it is. It's quite hard. Oh my god. Oh wow. Whoa, it's very like dense. It's very hard. It doesn't break up that easily. Okay, let me dig in. Let's take our first bite. Let's see how this goes. Very dry, very chewy, very crumbly in your mouth. There's walnuts in there. I'm quite surprised about that. It's good. Because it's so like dense and thick, despite all the chocolate chips in it, you don't taste any of that sweetness or any of that chocolate. You get like little doses of it. I almost want to say little kind of like snippets of chocolate taste, and then disappears. The cookie itself, like the cookie dough, it's not moist. It's kind of bland. It's a bit dry. I almost want to say, and you can kind of just see how thick it is. You can tell like once you take a bite of this, you're just chewing and chewing and chewing. I'm gonna go for my second bite. Let's see if this is any better. Same as the first one. I didn't even get like a piece of walnut in this one. You don't really taste the chocolate. You taste this like brick kind of crumbly cookie that just chews. So it feels like you're eating, but not tasting much. So to be honest, again, just like the cheese one, I give this a miss. Nothing too spectacular. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like disappointed so far. Okay, let's go into the next one. Okay, what we have here is this little thing, this little cake. This little cake, first of all, it looks like a boat, if you don't mind me saying. And then it seems like it has some dried raisins in there. If you guys can take a look over here. Its texture is very soft. And it seems like it's gonna be like a very chewy thing that's very good to go with the milk. And it's like a little boaty boat, Titanic, rah! I don't know how much it's stuffed. Let's open it up. And oh, you can see in the middle, it's not that stuffed, it's just on the edges. Let me take that first bite. Soft, moist, buttery, a little bit sweet because of this. And that's about it. That's kind of like all you taste. You don't taste much more. It's just like regular dough with kind of like, I guess, a little bit of like a raisin that's bugged in. I'm gonna take my second bite. Let's see how it is. Nothing special. You taste the fruit. It tastes nice. It's like a small little quick snack, but this is kind of the thing you can just buy in a package at a supermarket. Not super impressed. Oh my god, I really missed not eating in my apartment. The last two meals we've done, which was the Borek puff pastry and this, and the baked goods, they've kind of disappointed so far. And both of them have been like eating in the apartment. Guys, next one, I'm going out. I can't. I'm disappointed. I feel like a bad foodie. Now, next thing, what do we have here? Ooh, I know this. Oh, this thing, I hope this thing is good. Let's take a look. This thing is called bomba. And basically what it is, it's like a cookie, and this is chocolate inside if you take a look. It's very like soft. I can you know, press in, you can see that. So it's not a hard cookie. I like that. It's gonna be buttery. Look at the bottom. It's kind of like a golden baked color. Let's open it up. Let's see how it is on the inside. What's inside? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, look at all that chocolate. Look at that thick chocolate layer. Let's go in. It's like, but it's not even like Nutella. It's almost like a paste stuffing. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, wow. Whoa. Wow. Very yummy, very chocolatey, very sweet. This is what I think you guys are gonna want if you are a chocolate lover. This is the kind of thing that after you eat it, you need to go get a glass of milk and wash it down because it's stuck in my mouth. And it's heavy on the palate. You need something to drink after to get rid of that sweetness, get rid of that sugar, to cleanse the palate, I feel. Because it is so sweet and strong and a good amount of chocolate. They didn't skimp out on it, and I love that. This is why it's called La Bomba, because the chocolate, I think, just explodes in your mouth. So freaking good. Okay, now the next thing that I have here is a couple of items that they had at the bakery as well, and it's cakes. Yes, finally. I feel like these are gonna be really good. Because I just had something chocolate, let's dig into this first. So, let's see what this thing is. Whoopsie. So, right off the top, you can kind of see on the top, on the surface layer of it, there's a lot of raisins. There's a lot of like glazing. It looks like a sour cream glaze with a lot of raisins. The cake itself looks moist and soft. I'm just gonna bring it out here. Ooh, and let me show you that thick layer of cake. Ah, I hope it's good. There's nothing stuffed in it, but it seems really moist. I like that. I love moist cakes because they are easy to chew and it means there's a lot of butter in them. So let's take my first bite. Let's see how this is. Okay, crumbly. Okay. Surface layer is really good because it's moist and it's got that glazing on it. None of it really kind of like drips to the, you know, bottom part of it. And that makes, you know, the little middle to bottom layer of the cake a bit more dry, I almost want to say. I thought this would be a little bit better. Let's go in for another bite. Let's see. Okay. Second bite was a bit better. And that's because it had a lot of like glazing on the top. But then if you guys can take a look over here, you can kind of see this entire layer is just there and it's dry. There's nothing stuffed in here. But then here, that's where we have a lot of the raisins, a lot of that sugar, a lot of that glazing. And, you know, it makes for an okay piece of cake, but nothing crazy, nothing special. I wouldn't necessarily go running back to this place in order to get this. I'm gonna take another bite. I'm just like scraping off the glazing. I'm not gonna lie here. I'm not eating the whole cake. I want the glazing. Look at this. Nothing special. A bit disappointing. Let's move on. I have to tell you something. So far, I think maybe this has been the worst food filming day I've had in terms of how crazy I've been about the food. Everything kind of I've ordered so far today, it's been so. I don't think I'd recommend it that much. Next one though. Okay, let's hope this one salvages the day. So what this is, it's like a very moist chocolate piece of cake with coconut shavings on the top, and we have some pistachio. And the cake itself is very moist. Let me see if I can show you guys here. You can kind of see, you know, the sides of it, how moist it is. I'm gonna dig in and let me take off a chunk that I can show you guys. Oh, it's very moist. Take a look at this. That's a good piece of cake. Look at that. Oh, it's so moist. You can kind of see it. My spoon is, you know, dripping from all the chocolate. Oh, I'm gonna take a big bite. This should be good, to be honest. It's very moist. Wow, yeah. Very moist, very chocolatey, not too bitter, definitely not sweet. And you get those little bites of the coconut shavings, which give it that little extra flavor. I'm gonna go in for another bite, but this time I wanna get like a bit more pistachio. I want a bit more green in my cake, and I'm gonna get a bit of the coconut shavings. If you guys can take a look over here. Okay, I'm ready to go in for my bite. Wow, very yummy. I've never had that combination before. Pistachio with coconut. It's very good. It's strange, but it's good. Cake is moist. In the middle of it, it's starting to kind of look a little bit dry, which is disappointment. So it seems like only the, you know, the outer surface layers are the ones that are kind of very moist and chocolatey, I almost want to say. Then the middle of it looks a little bit dry. That kind of sucks. Let me go for another bite. The more I eat it, the more I realize it's so, you know what I mean? Nothing to rave about, nothing spectacular. I can't tell you guys, for example, hey, run to the bakery in Turkey and get this. It's not as good. It's not as good as, you know, some of the other stuff we've eaten on this channel. And for me, I hate to wrap up the video like this. I hate today's video has been, you know, a video shot like this, but that's the reality of it. You don't always end up, you know, tasting the most amazing things on a trip. And I think that every other food YouTube channel portrays that. Every other YouTube food channel, you know, shows off this is amazing and this is spectacular and this is the most delicious food. And not today, I don't think so. So with that being said, guys, I hope you appreciate the honesty. I definitely didn't want to act on camera like this is spectacular and breathtaking. I hope that when you come to Istanbul, pop by a bakery and see if you find something good. Or leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would recommend based on your experiences in Istanbul. I think the next few videos, for sure, I'm not gonna shoot them in the apartment. I prefer being out and about in the city, but I thought I'd kind of just try this to see how it is because I have more control over the environment, the audio, the video quality and such, and the interruptions. It's been good. I definitely though miss being out on the street in restaurants, filming myself eating, getting the food delivered from the chef to the waiter to my table. I think that's like a pretty awesome experience. And I think that in the next few videos, I'm just gonna go back to hitting that hard. So my food fanatics, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below about today's video, what you feel like, if you prefer street shots or here in the apartment, and stay tuned for the next video because I feel like this gives me some perspective of how the channel should be and where we should hit hard. And that needs to be street food, food in the outer world, restaurants, meeting chefs, waiters, people, and stay tuned for the next video. Cheers.